Good afternoon, everybody. This is Bob Iacchino along with Mike Arnold from Path Trading Partners, and this is an afternoon Path Chat covering the futures markets for May 25th. Mike's just going to cover the financials, essentially the equity indices and transports, along with crude oil, which had a huge drop today. Crude oil dropped about 5%, went all the way below 49 on the announcement from OPEC. Essentially, they announced what they'd already announced, that they were extending the production cuts for 9 months, and they added nothing else to it. Now, I would caution people that this is only the first announcement. The meeting will go on. Russia needs to chime in, and they will chime in, probably tomorrow, possibly over the weekend. But that's essentially it. That's all they did. They didn't surprise the market with anything, and you saw a classic example of buy the rumor, sell the news, which is an old market axiom. I usually say buy the rumor, sell the fact, because it doesn't necessarily have to be news, quote unquote, but that's okay. Either one works. You saw a classic example of this. People bought crude oil up into the meeting, assuming they would say something more than what they'd already pre-announced. Otherwise, the meeting itself was just a little bit useless. But that's what they did, and we'll see if there's any more coming out tomorrow or potentially over the weekend, because like I said, Russia still has to chime in. Although when they did make the announcement was directly from Khalida Fahil and Novak, who is the energy minister from Russia. So you would assume that Russia is already on board. We had Japanese CPI that came out already. I talked about some of the morning numbers on this morning's Path Chat, including the U.S. jobless claims and advanced good trade balance and wholesale inventories and the like, continuing claims. But we've got Japan's consumer price index year over year came in at 0.4, which is exactly as expected. They have a year over year ex fresh food, which essentially takes into consideration the cost of sushi, a very high cost and volatile part of the Japanese consumer life. That one came in slightly lower than expected, but the headline number exactly as expected, 0.4, so no big shock there. Anyway, having said all that, let me turn it over to Mike to let you know what he is seeing on the charts. Mike, it is all yours.
Thank you, Bob. So, transports today. Nice, strong rally up, getting through our next trend line. We're going to be watching for a target of the end of this clear path and our significant level area. So the end of the clear path on a continued rally tomorrow would come in at 91.86. And our significant level coming in about 91.95, so essentially the 9200 level. So those are the levels you're going to be watching for. If it gets through there, we're going to be watching for the 9234 level, followed by the 9285 level. On a pullback, 9120 area is going to be your first level of support. Then we could fall back to the significant level at 9075. Then if we did break through that, we'd be looking for about 9035. Switching over to the Dow Industrials. Move up, getting through the last little swing high. So continued rally tomorrow. We're really watching for a retest of the major swing high from earlier back in March, and then that would also coincide roughly with our 12.5% GAN projection up. So next level's up about 21,161 area to, let me give you the exact high. That's going to be some resistance, 21,169. If that is broken, 21,245 is the next key level. On a pullback, we're watching for support from about 21,025 first level, 20,987 area second level, third level 20,940. Switching over to the S&P. Continued a rally today, running up just higher than our 2415 area GAN projection. So next run up, you're going to have some minor resistance around today's highs, 2417.75, and then we'd be looking for the 2425 next level higher. Pullback, major support would come in around 2404. If that's broken, 2395, and then we'd be watching on to about the 2387 level. Over to the Nasdaq, also rallying up, hitting our GAN projection level around 57.83. Poke just above that. Tomorrow, resistance will come in right around 57.95, which was today's highs, and then 58.31 is the next area for a projected higher. On a pullback, we're watching for support coming in about 57.33 to 57.27. If that's broken, 57.08, followed by 56.85, then on a big move down, 56.54. Switching over to crude, which will be the last market we're covering today. Big reversal. We had a trendline trade stalled out at our other declining trend line, which are our first targets, did not reach our next targets. These trend lines are coming off then. We don't have a redraw of our upper trend line. This would have triggered a trend line trade, but it essentially reached the first target area, which would have been 48.85. And then the second target area is 48.22, which is the low today was 48.45. So it went too far to target to trigger a trade. What we'll be watching for tomorrow is support coming in possibly at 48.76, 48.60, then our end of our target 48.25 level. If that is broken, watch for a retest of about the 47.69 and then the 47.55. On a rally back up, our significant level 49.60 is going to be some major resistance. We now have a hooking 21, a hooking 50. Then if that's broken, $50 where we have a hooking 8 and a prior gain level. Then if we get above that, about 50.25. And on a major rally, we'd be watching for 50.75. That's all we have for you on this brief update tonight. Turning it back over to you, Bob.
Thanks for that, Michael. Short one tonight, but we're currently preparing for our podcast, which we'll record tomorrow and will be released on Saturday, the Money Path Podcast. You can catch that on iTunes, Google Play, or from our website, pathtradingpartners.com. It will be released sometime on Saturday, probably Saturday afternoon. Probably Saturday afternoon. Cheers, everyone. Thanks for watching. If you like what we're doing, hit like. Think about subscribing, and we will talk to you in the next Path Chat. Cheers.